I just want to give a big welcome, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you. I can't wait to see where everyone is dialing in from. And we will formally get started here in just about 1 minute to give everybody an opportunity to join. Welcome from London, UK, West Bloomfield, Michigan, so far away, Bangladesh, Maryland, New York. Um, we have few from India, so we definitely have a global representation here for our reapplicants. Azerbaijan, Abuja, Nigeria. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. I first want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you for joining this reapplicant webinar. I acknowledge it is not easy to be joining this webinar, and we appreciate your intentionality behind gathering the insights for our upcoming application cycle. The idea is to make this process easier for you, as well as less burdensome as you go through this process with us. We're going to provide you information on how to reapply and also provide guidance from an admission standpoint. But first, I want to take a moment to introduce ourselves. My name is Andrea McHale. I am the Director of Admissions for the full-time MBA program here at the Ross School of Business. I have been with the team now. This is going to be my third application cycle here at Ross. And so I feel like I'm officially now a reapplicant expert. And I am joined by Lisa Wang, and she is definitely a reapplicant expert. So, Lisa, please introduce yourself.
Thank you, Andrea. Hi, everyone. Welcome again. My name is Lisa Wang. I'm the Senior Associate Director on the full-time MBA admissions team. I've been with Ross since 2019. It's really crazy how time flies. So 6 years now, but I've been with the admissions team for 3 years. And very excited, like Andrea said, to share more tips and advice for you guys throughout this reapplication process.
Thank you, Lisa. And we have a significant portion of this webinar is going to be dedicated to question and answers. So it's a great time if you do have questions. Try and keep them as general as possible because these were going to be shared from the perspective of us as admissions officers to the entire community that has joined us today. But you'll definitely want to be able to raise your hand or chat in your question, and we'll take those in the order that they're received. But first, we do have a brief presentation, and we will then pause for question and answers. And then, Lisa, with that, we can go to the first slide. All right, so here's the overview. You might be thinking a reapplicant is some ways viewed as negative within the Ross community, and that's absolutely not the case. Being a reapplicant shows that you're taking intentionality, you have a keen interest in being a Ross student, and that you're demonstrating significant commitment and resilience in giving this application process another try. So first, just to kind of set you at ease, roughly anywhere between 5 to 10%, sometimes even more, of the class each year consists of reapplicants. So you are definitely not alone in this process. It is a significant part of our incoming class each year. And in terms of logistics, we try and reduce as many barriers as possible for you. One, all of our reapplicants are eligible for an application fee waiver. We also carry forward a significant amount of your application from the first cycle that you've applied into this current fall 26 cycle. Lisa's going to go into detail about what that looks like for you as a reapplicant, but we've been very intentional of trying to streamline this process as much as possible, as along with reducing as many barriers. One thing to note before Lisa goes into the detail around this, if there has been more than 1 year gap between your last application, so if you applied in the fall 2024 cycle and you're now reapplying in the fall 26, you will need to complete an entirely new application. So that is one caveat. But if you applied last cycle and you're moving things forward, Lisa is going to walk through all of that detail. And with that, I will turn it over to her.
Thank you, Andrea. And so as reapplicants, we really require only three things. So the first one is an updated resume. This is absolutely required because it would give us a chance to see if there has anything been changed since you last applied. So this could be changes in the roles that you have, any promotions, new projects that you've worked on, any impactful community service that you've done. So definitely take some time to, update your resume and make sure that it has everything new on there for us to see. The second part would be the reapplication essay. And so this is a new essay that you'll have to complete. There's really no word limit, but we usually suggest to keep it within a page. And we just want to know, again, what has changed since the last time you applied. It's important to have impactful updates in this reapplicant essay. And then also to reiterate why it is that Ross is the best choice for you and anything else that you would like us to know. So this is definitely a very important piece because again, it's going to showcase what you have done to improve your application since the last time you applied. And then finally, we do require an interview, and this is by invitation only. And so there's no difference in this process from the last year that you applied. And then some of the optional things that you can submit along with your reapplication would be the Ross essays. If you've done some self-reflection and you're like, hey, I don't think I did my best job on the essays last year, my short-term career goal might have changed, definitely feel free to, rewrite those essays and share new things with us. And then finally, your letter of recommendation, your test score, your statement of quant academic readiness, all of these are also optional. But again, if you do think you can improve your score, that's definitely something that would help you. If you, applied with a lower score last time, but you tried to, improve the score and it didn't work, maybe the statement of quant academic readiness would be a better path forward this year. So again, just take some time to really think about which option is best for me as I create my new application. And then finally, as with, a normal application process, any certificates that you guys have that you would like to share with us, we would happily accept it with this year's application as well. Um, and so with that, I will pass it back to Andrea to talk about some tips as you reflect on this process.
Thank you, Lisa. So, from a reflection standpoint, as you've gone through this process at least once before, applying to an MBA program is already a very reflective process. So, being a reapplicant, we just want you to hone in on those skills one more time. We're not able to provide at Ross individualized feedback. So, this session is a great opportunity for you to hear from us, for us to provide you some guidance and answer some of those general questions. Um, but to go back to self-reflection, this is absolutely key in the process. Go back to your application from last year and look at where are some areas that maybe you didn't prepare as much as you should have throughout this process. Are there areas of weakness that you can work on to improve from one year to the next? Are there areas or gaps or possible weaknesses that are out of your control, let's say like a transcript or a gap in employment, that you did not take time to explain to your evaluators within this admissions process? Those are always great opportunities for you to review and find areas for improvement. It may be your resume. It may be essays, it may be a test score, or once again, explaining something that may not have been clear to your admissions officer that was reviewing your application at that time. So take a step back, reflect, try and do as many things as you can that are within your control to improve. We believe that most people are well aware of those areas that they can refine and improve on within that application. So it is taking that time to be not only reflective, but motivated and passionate about improving in those areas that you can. That reflects extremely well in this reapplication process. Once you've identified those areas, then don't overthink it. Work towards those improvements. If there is areas that you feel very strong that you bubble to the top or you're right where you need to be in some of those criterias, don't feel like you need to refine those. Resubmit those areas, but work towards that application criteria that is most relevant for you to improve on. Oftentimes, it's the qualitative areas. Did I prepare for my interview? Did I take time to really represent myself within those essays? Does my resume, which is should be business school ready as much as possible, reflect impact? Those are areas that are time consuming in the application process, but have significant impact in your success. Um, Not everyone too. So when we think about like timing, this does take time to be reflective, to make improvements, to represent yourself well in this next application cycle. So to this last bullet, when is the best time to apply? When your application is most competitive and most representative of you. It is not required as a reapplicant to apply within round one. We have 3 dedicated rounds here at Ross, and I would encourage you to apply when the time is right for you as a reapplicant. And I
Mm.
think that's my spiel in terms of the tips. I hope this has been a helpful process for everyone. We are going to, not the Q&A portion, but just the overall general presentation. We will, once it's available, publish that to our website. If you have kind of any questions and you want to refer back to it, Lisa does a really nice job of recapping this in a blog that will be posted as well for best practices. And then definitely reach out to us if you do want to connect with a student ambassador that was a reapplicant to admit that are now successfully MBA students there at Ross. And then couple things. We definitely want you to stay engaged. I know you feel like you're kind of been part of all of this throughout these experiences with us, but continue that process. We're always updating our curriculum, our student experience, our student clubs grow and expand as there's shifts and changes with the interest from our student community as well as within kind of our corporate America career experience as well. So, a couple ways to stay connected. Our MBA admissions blogs, it definitely increases in the amount of activity we have starting from now, going well into our round two. So you can stay engaged with the admissions team by reviewing those blogs. Connect with student ambassadors. So right now we have our most recent graduates as well as our rising MBA twos on our student ambassadors page. Take a look back in like late September when we have all of our new MBA ones. It's fresh perspective. You can start reaching out to them and staying engaged. We just finished our 10th season of Business Beyond Usual. It's a podcast. If you're an avid podcast listener, definitely would encourage you to tune into those. You can go back to previous seasons. A lot of this information stays relevant and evergreen for many, many different years. Lots of different perspective there, so encourage that. And then upcoming events. So both in person in your area as well as our virtual events. If you have the opportunity to be here in Ann Arbor for an in-person event, definitely will encourage that as well. But we host over, I mean, hundreds at this point, hundreds of events throughout the year. And each one brings a unique perspective and a different source of information. So definitely stay engaged that way. And I just really appreciate it. Lisa, thank you for hosting with me. And we hope to connect with each and every one of you here soon and definitely look forward to reviewing your applications.
Go Blue.
Go Blue.